What is going on, San Antonio? Welcome to church, baby. Welcome to the Fantasy Gods. I'm your man, Brandon Big Papi Medina. I am here, as always, with my tag team partner, Mr. Joe Garcia, the best producer in all of the land. Joe, look at this fancy new overlay, the background. My boy Joe's been in the lab working, Joe. How we doing, brother?
Doing good, man. Yeah, I've been working hard, bro. I always stayed up late, dude. The other day, I was telling you, I woke up like at 6 a.m.
Damn.
giving updates to not only like my podcast that what we do over there with the Alamo
Of
City
course.
Sportscast.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, I'm gonna give my this podcast some love. I'm gonna do the same thing for you.
Man, look at that. Just love all the way around, brother. Hey, listen, it is spooky season, which means we have some spooky matchups and some spooky bets. And as always, scared money don't make money. That's what we know to be true here on the Fantasy Gods. We are very much excited. Our boy Caleb Ramirez saying, "Que paso?" And then our boy Joshua, that's a scary costume, bro. Hey, it is scary. It is scary because the Vikings are coming back up, baby.
Oh no,
The
dude!
Vikings are here to stay now.
I just noticed you're wearing your Vikings gear today, bro.
Come on, baby.
Oh man, you know what happens.
I know. But we're going against the Packers, who I don't trust to give us a tough matchup at all. However, we do have a lot of scary games on slate today, a lot of meaningful games, and a lot of meaningful matchups, man. We are very much excited. You have a lot of big ones. You have Rams, Cowboys, which our boy Joe Garcia doesn't seem too excited about, doesn't seem too jolted about. Joe, why is that, sir?
Nah, because I don't believe in Dak, bro.
Come on.
Come on, man. You already know Dak. So lo va a cagar, dude. He's going to come in there and he's going to shit the bed again, bro. You already know Dak. He's already good for at least 1 or 2 picks. Ya sabes.
Listen, here's my thing. The hate for Dak Prescott is another level for Cowboys fans. I don't think the rest of the NFL cares for Dak Prescott or hates Dak Prescott the way you all do, but it's a beautiful thing to see, especially on a Sunday.
I'm ready to put in Rush, dude. I'm all
No,
Rush or
stop,
nothing, bro.
stop,
Put in
dude.
Rush.
Stop. There's no way you're there.
I'm ready for Cooper Rush. Ready
There's
for the
no-
Cooper Rush era, bro.
There's no chance. No chance. But we do have a lot of juicy matchups here on the slate today. We have a lot of big games that are going to win you the fantasy week if you have these players. And also, these are some players for you to be targeting because they have very easy schedules coming up. So let's get into a little bit of Blessed is He Who Starts.
Blessed is he who starts.
Look at that. Fanciness over here on the Fantasy Gods, man. But let's talk a little bit about Blessed is He Who Starts. Who do you need to be starting in your fantasy leagues today? Well, here's a few. Zay Flowers looks to have an incredible matchup against Arizona. Now, here's the thing. Arizona has flip-flopped a little bit, right? They give up the 10th fewest yards to wide receivers. However, Zay Flowers is the guy for Baltimore. They still are the 27th ranked defense against passing offenses for fantasy football. So still opportunity there. I love me some Zay Flowers. I also love me some Garrett Wilson. I talked a lot of trash about Garrett Wilson whenever things went south with Aaron Rodgers. This is against the Giants. This is New York versus New Jersey, basically. You can't claim New York if you're playing in Jersey, but you got the two New York/New Jersey teams going against each other with the Giants and the Jets. This is a big one. Both are struggling. One's 3-3, one's 2-5. I do think that Garrett Wilson has an opportunity here to go out and have himself a damn good game, especially for fantasy. You just gave the Eagles 8 for 90. I expect you to give the Giants the same exact thing, if not more. So Garrett Wilson is a must play today. And then you got Christian Kirk. Let me tell you, Christian Kirk might end today as a wide receiver 3, 2, or 1. He's going to have a massive game. He's averaging about 15 fantasy points a game. Pittsburgh, who they're going against, we were just talking about it before we jumped on the show, Joe, right?
Yeah, man.
Jacksonville and Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh giving up the 3rd most fantasy points to wide receivers. Christian Kirk is going to absolutely dominate and go nuclear. I do think Christian Kirk has an 18 to 25 plus point performance today. So get Christian Kirk in your lineups. The other one that I'm big on, and you'll hear about it in the prop bets as well, Jahmyr Gibbs for the Detroit Lions finally got an opportunity to take on the complete full running back row there in Detroit. He looked to kind of see what he could do. You want to see exactly some explosiveness. You want to see something that you can rely on. He gave you 27.6 fantasy points to say thank you for a struggling season, right? Before that, his most fantasy points in PPR was 12.6. Then he comes out, gets all the touches, and gives you 27.6. His receiving was what did it. All throughout the preseason, we heard about Jahmyr Gibbs and how he was a wide receiver almost for the Detroit Lions. We failed to see that through the regular season, and what we saw was 11 attempts for 68 yards against Baltimore and a touchdown, and then he came back and gave you 9 receptions. We just talked about Christian Kirk, who had 8 for 90, or Garrett Wilson for 8 for 90, and now we have a running back, Jahmyr Gibbs, 9 for 58 on 10 targets. Only had 1 missed target. You got to love the usage. Jahmyr Gibbs is here to stay. He's looking to average right now about 20 points in ESPN's fantasy football. And Las Vegas sucks ass. They are the 28th ranked running defense. So take Jahmyr Gibbs, please. Ramondre Stevenson, another guy you got to start. He looked great. They go against Miami. Miami's going to get up on the New England Patriots very quickly. New England will be passing. Ramondre's part of that passing game. Then you got Kenneth Walker, Dameon Pierce. Dameon Pierce, we haven't talked about much on the show at all. Houston Texans fans, stand up. Dameon Pierce looks to have a great game. That O-line at Houston's getting better and better. And Carolina is averaging 5.3 yards per carry to running backs, which is the 3rd most rushing yards in the league. So that is all about who you need to start. Right? Who you need to start. Those are massive, massive implications. We got a few questions here. Caleb Ramirez says, I can't play Kirk over Keenan or Nico. I think you got to play Kirk over Nico. Truly, that's just me. Nico Collins has been awesome. Christian Kirk is primed for a spot. Chris Orozco, he says, oh, wow. He says, I have Kirk, Puka, Myers, Waddle, and Devontae Smith. Dude, Chris, first off, slow down, bro. Can you only start one or can you start 2? I need you to answer us in the chat. Can you only start 1? If you only can start 1, that is extremely tough. And I think you have a safer floor with Puka. I think the ceiling is with Kirk and Myers. But there's no way you can only start one of those guys, brother. Move a flex spot, move somebody around. You have a great, great opportunity here. Waddle's going to have a great game too. That is tough, man. Jacoby Myers has been so consistent. I would have Kirk and Myers only because, I mean, Puka's incredible. But my thing is, if you can start 2 out of that bunch, I would go with Myers for sure. For sure, he's in there. And then I probably would go. Man, I don't know. What do you think, Joe? Would you go Puka over Christian Kirk? Puka's still number 4 ranked fantasy football wide receiver.
Man, I got to go with Puka, bro. The heart says to go with Puka.
Yeah, I think the heart says to go with Puka for sure. Christian Kirk has been really good, but Puka Nakua's floor has been insane.
Look at Caleb Ramirez. He says Puka, Kirk, and Myers.
Yeah, I like perfect one. So I need my 2 starters. There we go, Chris. You're gonna win your league. Hope you enjoy yourself. You're gonna win the fantasy week for sure. So with that, those are kind of who we like to start, who we think you should start. Everybody, this is what you tune in for. This is what you listen up. Listen up closely, because right now we're gonna mention who you should bench, and then we're gonna talk about saying a little prayer value. But you got to be a little nervous. That's why it's called spooky matchups, right? Scared bets, baby. You know what I mean? We're not scared money doesn't make money. Brian Robinson only had 8 carries last week. It slowly feels like Washington is becoming a running back by committee, and Brian Robinson is a touchdown dependent running back right now. Running backs are scarce in fantasy football as it stands. You just cannot get running backs anymore. It's over. What you got is what you got. Brian Robinson, don't get confused by his ranking, number 13 running back in fantasy football. Let me talk to you since week 4. We're going into week 8. Week 4, 13.1 points, 8.3, 13.6, 8.3. So week 4 against Philadelphia, who he's playing today, he had 13.1 points. That's fine. That's okay. That's, average for a running back. He had a touchdown in that game. You take away that touchdown, that's 6 points. You take away the touchdown last week against the Giants where he only got 8 carries, he would have had 2.3 points. This man is a facade. This guy is not who he says he is. This guy is not going to be the running back that you want to absolutely banker, will be struggling moving forward in the fantasy football season. Now, is he droppable? Is he tradable? Right? Listen, before last week, he was giving you double digits, right? 17.5, 10.8, 12.6, 11.2 points. Very low-end RB2 numbers, right? Last week, he gives you 8 carries against San Francisco and gives you 6.2 fantasy points. And that's with catching a few balls. Here is the thing. Cam Akers is involved somewhat, right? He saw 11 combined targets and touches. Cam Akers had 13. So we're starting to see the Vikings slowly go into that running back by committee, slowly move Cam Akers in. Cam Akers got 10 carries, gave you more fantasy points. I'm just saying Alexander Madison might be on his way out of fantasy football lineups, and you got to be willing to change it up. So Alexander Madison's another one you need to bench. Najee Harris. We do this every single week. Najee Harris had a solid week against the Rams. 14 for 53 and 1 touchdown. That is the only week on the entire season he's given you more than 11 points, and he only gave you 11 points once. 5 points, 5 points, 6 points, 11 points, 5 points, and then last week, which was about 16. Najee Harris does not need to start. He can be a flex play, but if you got other players, other wide receivers, other running backs who could fit that mold better, please move elsewhere. Najee Harris does not need to be in your lineups. And the other one, there's certain fantasy football players, Joe, that their name still holds weight, right? People were still drafting Odell Beckham for no reason, right? If you have DeAndre Hopkins, keep him on your bench. It is that simple. DeAndre Hopkins is a fine bench stash. He's a fine bye-week play when you need to play a wide receiver. He might be able to pop off. Is he bad? No. He's not DeAndre Hopkins that you remember, though. Let's talk about that. He gave you 22 points against Indianapolis Colts, and everybody was rejoicing, Joe. Oh, my God. Hopkins is back. 11 targets, 8 for 140. Holy hell, he can still move. He can still go get it. False. You got played. What does DJ Khaled say? You played yourself, okay? You played yourself. Last week, you probably played DeAndre Hopkins in flex or whatever the case if you had him and you're struggling. And you say, he just gave me 22 points. The week before that, he gave me 10 points. I know he's going to give me something. Guess what he did to you against Baltimore? 3 points on 1 catch for 20 yards. He gave you the chorizo, and he's going to continue to give you the chorizo because DeAndre Hopkins is not that guy anymore. Like I said, a fine bye-week play, a fine free agency waiver wire pickup if he's there. All I'm saying is he's not that guy anymore, guys, so don't trust him to be. The other one, and this is the biggest one, our final bench spot for Thou Shalt Bench goes to Amari Cooper.
Oh, no, bro.
Amari Cooper. Listen, a lot of you guys have Amari, and a lot of you have him as a wide receiver too, as a flex play, whatever the case. In the past 6 games, 3 out of those 6 games, he has scored less than 7 fantasy points. You're losing that week because Amari Cooper can't figure it out. And it's not Amari Cooper's fault. Deshaun Watson, again, is out. Amari Cooper will have his struggles. Now, here's my thing. Amari Cooper is a gray area, right? He can go off. Nobody's saying that the guy can't play ball. Week 6 against San Francisco, he had 14.8. But the 2 games, 1 game of that, 2.6, 4.2 right now. You need wins in fantasy football. All of this is, trust me, Seattle has 2 sneaky stud corners. Amari Cooper will have 10 or less fantasy points. And if you think you could get that somewhere else, please go somewhere else. So those are our bench. Those are our starts. Joe Garcia, what do you think about them, sir?
I think they're solid, dude. I like everything you just said right there. I have to say I agree with you, man.
Listen, when I give you this info, I'm giving you full-length background knowledge of why I'm saying what I'm saying, right? Nobody's saying DeAndre Hopkins is a bum just because he's a bum. I'm telling you, he's not good anymore, right?
Just like Odell.
Yeah, just like Odell. You should have drafted. If you wasted a draft pick on Odell, you could go ahead and tune out. You know what I mean? There's no need for you to be in the show. But we're going to say a little prayer for a few of them. But Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs probably should be in your DraftKings lineup. Don't go crazy Don't go nuts and put them in your lineup just normally. But
Yeah.
DraftKings, you could probably get a solid value for them, and I think that's where it could be beneficial. So as we continue on, let's talk a little bit about our sponsors before we move forward, just because we got to show some love to the people who keep the lights on around here, and that is Mad Pecker Brewing Company, our favorite people over there, doing the best of the best work in San Antonio. You talk about drinks, they got it. You talk about food, they got it. Mad Pecker Brewing Company, the best L's, IPAs, all the great drinks, great pizzas, wings, chicken sandwiches, everything you could want. They have a great atmosphere. If you're a hip-hop fan, you'll love the vibe there. Me and Joe are always looking to try new drinks. Whatever alcohol content is the highest, me and Joe will happily oblige to be the test dummies for. And Matt Becker Brewing Company make sure to treat us very, very well. So Matt Becker Brewing Company is the title sponsor of the Fantasy Gods. And then you got the best coffee shop in San Antonio, Mudslingers Drive-Thru Coffee. Why would you go anywhere else? Truly, we ask this every time. Why would you go anywhere else to get your coffee except two things? Mudslingers support your boys here at the Fantasy Gods. They support UTSA and the community. And just to add a third for the hell of it, they are the best damn coffee shop you're going to find here in San Antonio. Not only do they have the best social media content, as you and I know, Joe, great social media content, but they support UTSA athletics. They support constantly in the community. Go check out the UTSA theme Sub-Zero. All of that goes to student athletes and is 210 inspired, so definitely go check that out. You got the alien. Wemby's looking incredible for the Spurs.
El pinche Wembiazo.
Come on, baby. Go get the alien. You got the donuts. You got all the great treats over there at Mudslingers Drive-Thru Coffee Shop. Go check them out. Go support local. So, Joe, I hope you're ready, brother, because we're going to say a little prayer for a lot of people, and one of them is going to be a very, very big surprise. Also, shout out to our boy Chris Leah said, Mudslingers is the fucking best. That's right, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, look at, man, somebody's showing love to my cap, man. They like the hat.
Man, they like the cat. Look at that.
Fiesta colored, man. I got to get ready for the Spurs game, bro.
Come on, baby. So, we're going to go ahead, Joe, and it's time to say a little prayer.
It's time for the Fantasy Gods to say a little prayer.
So, if you're not familiar with this segment, these are players that should probably be in your lineup, could be in your lineup, and you make the choice if they make your lineup. These are players I'm saying a little prayer for. A lot of the times, Joe, you got to take that spooky matchup. You got to take those spooky bets and just kind of see what happens. Scare money. What does scare money do, Joe?
They don't make money.
It don't make money. So, with that, the first one, the scariest of the bunch, a guy that you drafted to be your guy, to be the one for you, Mr. T. Higgins has gone completely missing from fantasy football. You haven't seen him. He hasn't done anything for you. He hasn't been a weekly starter. He had one game over 4 points. T. Higgins needs to be and will be in my lineup. He is going against San Francisco. Cincinnati will start getting the ball. Talent wins out. Things will go back. T. Higgins needs to be in there. Also, before we move on, my boy Matt Campos just jumped in to the chat to say, go Snakes. And I need you to have the worst Sunday you could possibly have, Matt, for disrespecting my Rangers. Anyways, let's move on. Curtis Samuel needs to be in a say a little prayer. Last week, only 8 targets, 4 catches, 25 yards. Before that, the dude was the guy for Washington. You talk about this Washington team. They don't have much. They don't rely on much. They don't know where to pass the ball sometimes. Philadelphia is the 31st defense against wide receivers. Curtis Samuel, every week before that, 3 weeks before his last game against the Giants, 14.2 points, 18.5 points, 18.2. Curtis Samuel needs to be at least considered for a flex option in your lineup. Jalen Warren, if you have Brian Robinson, if you have these running backs who are killing you, who are trash, who are basura, Jalen Warren could be there for you. Could be a safety net, might be touchdown dependent, but the way Najee Harris is playing, give me Jalen Warren over Najee Harris as well. Jalen Warren gets the wide receiver catches, if you will, from the backfield for running backs. He gets the big opportunities, and he creates pace and space for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I like Jalen Warren. The other one, Kendrick Bourne for New England. Kendrick Bourne had what many are going to be calling a come-out party this past week, right? He came out, had a ridiculous week, 16.3 to follow up on his 19.3 week last week. He looks to be getting targeted. Now, New England will need to pass against Miami. We know this, right? Mac Jones makes mistakes. Kendrick Bourne seems to be one of his favorite targets. 11 targets in week 6, 7 last week. So I do think he is flex worthy and could possibly be in your lineup. And I'm telling you now, if he scores a touchdown, you might be winning that week because of Kendrick Bourne. So that's one. Then we got one that you're going to say, who the hell is that, Brandon? Who are you talking about? Amari DiMercado. This guy. Who is this? This is the backup running back for the Cardinals, right? Last week had 11.5 fantasy points off of 13 carries. Also got 5 targets in the receiving work. He might be worth adding to your waiver wire if you need running backs. He is available in so many leagues and could be very valuable. As it stands, Amari DiMercado is only rostered in 38.2% of fantasy leagues. Also, I'm pretty sure I'm saying his name wrong. I'm just making it Spanish when it doesn't have to be Spanish. But Amari needs to be possibly added to your fantasy lineups, especially if you're struggling at the running back position. And then here's the final one. And it's a nasty one, Joe. It's a nasty one. And I can't believe in the year 2023, I have to mention this name to say a little prayer for it. This name used to be an automatic start. You don't got to worry about it. You don't got to see it through. I'm going to say a little prayer for Derrick Henry.
Damn.
For King Henry, the man who has had the fantasy football life in a chokehold for years. And we found out this year he is human. This year he is as human as they get. Now, is he a bad running back? Of course not. Number 15 running back on the year. Has he been good? He's had his games. He's showed good. First 2 weeks, 13.9 points, 18.5 points. Okay, that's fair. That's average, right? It's a low-end RB1. Then he gave you 2 points in week 3. Comes back, gives you 24 points in week 4. Then comes back, gives you 8. Last week gives you 19. He comes off on a bye. He goes and plays Atlanta today. There is so much going on with Derrick Henry. It's uncertainty is what it is. Derrick Henry is uncertainty as it stands right now. He has gone from a legitimate RB1 to a very legitimate RB2, right? He's averaging about 14.5 points. But like I said, in those games, he's giving you 2 points and 8 points. It might be touchdown dependent. He is getting a lot of work, of course, but you got to realize Tyjae Spears is also getting a lot of work over there, too, for the Titans. So, as it stands, he's going against Atlanta. Atlanta giving up 95.3 rushing yards per game. So, still should be safe, but we're saying a little prayer to make sure Derrick Henry can win you some games in your fantasy football rosters. Are you surprised, Joe, to hear Derrick Henry, DeAndre Hopkins, these names that used to be for sure guys, T. Higgins, all these names, and benching, say a little prayer, all this stuff? What are you thinking?
It just shows you, man, like, at the end of the day, the sun starts setting a little bit on your career, and you start looking human, man. You're not the beast you once were.
We mentioned Amari Cooper and DeAndre Hopkins as people you should bench. And just a few years ago, Joe, as you remember, those two guys dominating the fantasy football world. So, listen, things change, people change. What doesn't change is that the fantasy gods are here for you. So, with that, we're going to talk a little bit about money. We gave you your fantasy football talk. If you have any fantasy football questions at any point in the show, who do I start? Who should I trade? Who should I pick up? Who should I bench? Hit us up on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter. You can follow me at Big Poppy Brandon M on Twitter. You can follow the show at the Alamo City Podcast Network. You got to go check us out. Please subscribe to the channel. Check out the show as you are doing. Share the show. And if you have any questions, comment on the show what you guys want us to answer. Again, that is Alamo City Podcast Network. You got to go check us out. Everything, sports, pop culture. You have Joe's show during the week, my show on Sundays. We're looking to add shows as we continue. So if you have any, again, Alamo City Podcast Network on YouTube or comment on Facebook and Twitter. So with that, Joe, let's talk about this is what the show is made off of. This is how we keep the lights on, Joe. As it stands, you and I have spent money, right? We have lost our parlays the past 2 weeks. But before that, you probably made easily If you took every parlay we've given you and you put $100 on it, you're still probably up about $1,800, if more. So we're doing well. My prop bets are locked in today, people, and I promise you they're going to be hitting at some point. Someone's hitting. But let's talk about our big bets here, Joe. Let's break it down from the top. Philadelphia Eagles and Commanders. Who is going to be winning this game? And then tell us, is this game making it into Joe Garcia's can't-miss locked-in parlay of the week?
No, man, I ain't touching this one. It's not sexy enough for me, man.
It's not sexy enough. I like that.
Not sexy enough for me.
I like that.
You got to look at this one, man. Come on. Eagles over Commanders, dude. Easy. Easy money.
You taking -7 or you taking money line?
I'm going to go ahead and take the -7, dude. I'm going to take the -7. I think it'd be a close game.
I'll tell you what.
I see it by a touchdown.
I like it, but the Eagles are notorious for playing down to their opponents. For whatever reason, they just continue to not struggle. They don't struggle against them, but they definitely don't blow out people, right? You look at them, 6-1 as it stands. They did beat the Dolphins like crazy, but the Jets beat them by 6. What I'm going to take instead is the over 43 points in the Philadelphia Eagles game. That's a lot of points, but we're getting wild, baby. Scare money, don't make money. So, New England Patriots, Miami Dolphins, another matchup that we have seen. What are your thoughts on this one?
Man, this one's a weird one, dude, to me, because you look at what the Patriots did last week against the Bills, and they beat the Bills 29-25.
Yep.
Will they be able to do the same thing against the Dolphins? You know? And you would say, no, there's no way that this could happen. But the Patriots, man, they did beat the Bills, but I got to go with the Vegas odd makers on this one. I'm going with the Dolphins over the Pats, man.
You taking that -8 completely? Are you going to tease it down to -7? What do you think?
No, man, I'll probably take it about -7. I'm going to have to take it by a touchdown.
Okay, fair enough. Listen, the last time they played, the Dolphins got the best of them, right? But only by 7. This is at -8. The Patriots have played well. The Dolphins have lost to the Eagles, and they've lost to the Bills. If your Dallas Cowboy math checks out, like all you guys always post, right? Oh, well, the Bills lost to the Patriots, and the Patriots are going to be able to beat the Dolphins then because they beat the Bills. No, listen, don't trust anything in your gut. I think the Patriots cover +8. I'm wilding out. I'm going crazy. I'm not taking this bet. Don't listen. I'm not touching this bet, but I do. They covered last time. They have a solid defense. You got Kendrick Bourne, who's starting to make big plays. You got Ramondre Stevenson starting to figure it out. If Mac Jones cannot make so many mistakes, the Patriots will not win this game, but they'll definitely cover that +8. In my opinion, I think Miami has the opportunity to absolutely blow the water off of them. I just don't know that they do because, I trust Bill Belichick's offense. And the last time I said that, the Patriots got blown the hell out by the Cowboys. So I wouldn't take my advice on this one. The Jets and Giants. Jeez, bro. The Basura Bowl.
I'm done with the Jets, bro. I told you I'm
so
done with
even here, this is a good spot. Even here,
I'm going to go ahead and look, man.
Here we go.
This is the thing, man.
You always listen. For anybody who hasn't been following the show for a while, our boy Joe Garcia hit a plus, I think it was like 1,400 odd bet. And the Jets were the main thing of that. Week 1, he hits this bet for like $100 to win $1,600. The Jets were his main anchor to beat the Bills. And he started taking them week after week. And they never hit again for him. The Jets, Giants, could they find their way back into your heart, Joe?
I'm done with them. They belong to the streets, but I'm going to tell you, the Jets, I have them beating the Giants, man.
Okay.
And I'm going to go ahead and take them by no less than 3 points.
I like that. I like the -3. I'll take that as well. I think -3 is exactly where they fit. The defense is solid. Offensive line needs work, but I think Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, all these playmakers make a massive difference. And I'm taking the Jets to also win by -3. So I like that. Rams and Cowboys.
Jesus, man.
What are we talking about here, baby? How about them Cowboys or what? What are we thinking?
Puro pinche Cowboys, bro. I'm going to say that just like,
Puro pinche Cowboys.
I don't know if I can get up and say, Puro pinche Cowboys, get all crazy for it, but Cowboys have a way of letting you down, man.
Sure do.
They sure do,
that's,
bro.
That's the life of a Cowboy fan.
What are the Rams right now, 3-4?
The Rams? Yeah, I believe so.
3-4.
Sure.
So on paper, Cowboys have a better record than the Rams.
Right.
And you think, okay, you look at this game, man, this should be an easy win for the Cowboys on paper. They have a decent enough defense, one of the top defenses. You look at the Rams and they've struggled a little bit, on their offense. I think that the Rams and the Cowboys, it's going to be a real close game. A real close game. I don't think there's going to be a shootout.
I don't think so either.
I got the Cowboys winning this one by no less than a field goal.
Wow. So you would take Rams plus 6.5 to cover only because you believe it's going to be close.
Yeah, just because I believe this one's going to be close.
Is this game making it into the can't miss locked in parlay?
It
of
is,
the week?
man. This one's coming in.
This one's making it in.
Making it in.
All right. Well, now I'm excited to see what you can do. So, Rams Cowboys. Listen, Cowboy fans have nothing to worry about, or so they think.
Yeah, so they think.
Listen, the Rams, the only wins they have, Seahawks 30-13. They beat the hell out of the Seahawks. They beat the Colts 29-23, and they beat the Cardinals 26-9. Again, Cowboy fan math. The Cardinals beat the Cowboys. The Rams should beat the Cowboys. But I think the way it stands, they didn't beat anybody special. They've competed with the Bengals. They've competed with the Eagles. They competed with the Steelers. Give me the Rams plus 6.5 as well to cover. I do think this game is way more competitive and way more close than I think people want it to be. If anything, just tease it to plus 7. If you might lose a little bit of value, right now, I believe plus 6.5 is minus 105, so $100 will win you about $95. Instead of that, you might be at minus 120 and lose a little bit of money, but I think you're guaranteed to hit that plus 7 versus just plus 6.5. So, listen, odds makers are good at this shit. For whatever reason, they know how to do it. What happens is it's going to be Cowboys up on the Rams by 4, and then 1 second left, they're going to kick a field goal, and they win by 7, and then you lose money. So just take the plus 7 and just make sure you're saving yourself a little bit, even if you lose a little bit of money here and there.
Yeah, I got him by a field goal, but like you said, man, you want to take at least the plus 7.
Absolutely. So real quick, we did get a question on YouTube real fast, Joe. So help me pull this up real quick just so we can make sure we answer this. Our boy Ishan1 said, trying to figure out my second RB flex spots in my PPR league. I have Stevenson, Jones, DeMercado to choose from RBs. Collins and Watson from the wide receiver side. Easy money for me, brother. Take Ramondre Stevenson and take Nico Collins. Those are the two that I like a lot. Those are the two that I think will be the best for your bet. I don't trust Jones yet. DeMercado is a say a little prayer for me. I'm not trusting him to blow the league apart. So I'm all talking about just straight up Collins and Stevenson. Those make the most sense to me. Those have the most consistency and the best floor. So Collins and Stevenson for those flex spots would be my choices. What else do we got, sir? We have some more for our NFL look at. We have Jacksonville and Pittsburgh. We talked about, is Jacksonville and Pittsburgh making your can't miss parlay of the week?
No, man, I don't got Jacksonville and Pittsburgh in my can't miss parlay.
Okay. Who do you think? I love Jacksonville minus 2.5.
On this one, dude, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I've been looking at the stats, been looking at everything, the chatter. The chatter. I'm going to tell you, man, I like the Pittsburgh Steelers over the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Well, all right. I don't like that you like that because I like the opposite. I'm going to take the Jacksonville Jaguars minus 2.5 to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. Give me why you like the Steelers so much.
I just think that the Steelers, even though that, their offense isn't sexy, they still always have a decent enough defense. I think the defense can go ahead and keep pressure on their quarterback, on the Jacksonville Jaguars quarterback. Yeah. I think they can go ahead and make the game really close. I have the Jacksonville Jaguars losing to the Steelers by a field goal. So I would go ahead and take the plus. I would take it at plus 3. Maybe you want to cover a little bit more. You go up at maybe 6 if you want to go ahead and cover it, just in case it's by a touchdown. But I do like the Steelers over the Jacksonville Jaguars, only because I think the Steelers defense will come through.
I like it. I think the Steelers defense, unfortunately, has allowed too many rushing yards for running backs, and I think that's a little tidbit into what our prop bets will be. I do think that the Jaguars will be in my prop bets, especially when it comes to the running back situation there. But I do think wide receivers are going to eat. Christian Kirk is one of my favorite plays. Travis Etienne's one of my favorite plays. I got to go with the Jaguars, and I do think that they cover minus 2.5. Texans and Panthers, sir. Are the Texans for real? Are they going to be solid this year? Because C.J. Stroud looks incredible. We've talked about it. He looks awesome. It looks like it's going to be a very, very solid, bright future for the Texans with Nico Collins, Dameon Pierce, and C.J. Stroud. Do they have enough to beat Carolina? I do believe so. What do you think?
No, I do believe so as well. I think C.J. Stroud is going to come through for the Texans. The Texans' defense is going to show up. I think it's going to be a really good game, man. This one, I actually got the Texans winning. I know they have the Vegas odd makers are saying by 3. I have the Texans winning by at least a touchdown.
Interesting. I like that. So you would tease it up, you're thinking.
I would tease it up. Yep.
Man, it's ballsy. Is this making your parlay?
That one's not in my parlay, man.
Okay. Man, so we have only one so far that's making your parlay.
Only one so far.
Vikings and Packers.
This is your team.
Come
bro.
on, baby. We got a very exciting matchup for two very underwhelming teams in the NFC with the Vikings and the Packers. A classic, just rivalry game. Give me my Vikings -1, brother. If you're going to take them to win, don't even look at the money line. That's stupid. It's at -118 when you could just get -1 at 110. Give me the Vikings -1. It's the same thing. They're going to win. I like the Vikings.
And look, you got a comment already. Texans, solid 10-7 or 9-8 to finish this year. That's what Puro Pinche Sports is saying.
Wow. Puro Pinche Sports. Texans solid 10-7 or 9-8 to finish the year. That is very, very interesting because they are 3-3 as it stands. I'm looking at their lineup, though. They're not wrong. They don't got nobody. Buccaneers, Bengals, Cardinals, Jaguars, Broncos, Jets, Titans, Browns, Jets, Colts. I don't know if I see another 6 wins in there, but I could see them finishing, I don't know, maybe 6 games, 7 games. I don't know about 9. That's a lot. But we do have the Vikings, Packers. Let me hear it, Joe. Let me hear you say the Minnesota Vikings are winning today.
Man, you would think the
no,
Minnesota Vikings
don't
would win
start.
this one.
Don't
But
start
you know
this
what?
shit.
I
Don't
got to
start.
go with what Brandon's wearing here in studio.
Come on, baby.
Every time he shows up wearing some Vikings gear, they lose the damn game. So you know what? I don't care what the Vegas odd makers tell you.
You're just going
I'm
by
going with what Brandon has done to his Vikings
what
thus far
I've done
this year.
to the Vikings.
So I'm going to go with the Packers over the
Wow.
Vikings in this one.
Wow, dude.
Every time you wear the gear, they lose, bro. I'm just saying.
Bro, I can't not wear the gear. I can't not support my team.
That's all right. You're going to give them an L this week, too. So it's
You
all
are
good.
right, though. That's been the running joke. Every time I wear it. Damn, dude. I hope not because I have a lot of Packers fans as friends. But with that, I do think the Vikings win that one. That's going to be -1. That's going to be a good game. What do you think over under? 41.5. Do you think it goes 27, 24, some score like that maybe can beat that?
I don't know if that's going to be that high scoring, dude. I think it might be a little bit lower.
Okay.
But, I mean, 27-24 is not bad either.
Yeah, I think it's worth looking at that over-under. I don't have the past matchups here in front of me. I'm sure we could find them, but I like the Vikings -1. If you're scared to pick a winner in this close of a game, I would encourage you to go to maybe StatMuse, who I look at a lot. Go look at other stat areas and look at what the over-unders have been in the past, and maybe go for that. Again, no Justin Jefferson again. You got Jordan Addison. They looked great. The 49ers and the Vikings put up a lot of points last week. Maybe look at something very similar against the Packers team here. Saints, Colts. What are we looking at here? I like the Saints, baby. The Saints, this is making it into my can't miss parlay of the week, just so we're clear.
So you're going to go ahead and cover the 2?
I'm just saying I like the Saints. That's all I'm saying.
You like the Saints?
That's all I'm saying. I like the Saints. And if I was betting money, which I am betting money, I probably will be taking -2.
Okay.
What do you think? You think the Colts have any shot here? I mean, clearly Vegas is giving them a shot, but
I think the Colts got a shot, dude. I think they
Gardner Minshew is gonna bring you some fantasy football relevant.
going to be very evenly matched. I like the Colts over the Saints by at least. I'll go ahead and cover by 3.
By 3. Okay. Colts by 3. So to lose by 3 or to win by 3?
I think they're going to win by 3.
Wow. So you're completely flip-flopping that. My boy is nuts on the day. This dude's on.
Hey, man, the Vegas odd makers have not got things right either. Last week, they shit the bed because a lot of the teams they picked to win, they all lost.
Yeah.
You know? So
That's
I'm just
true.
saying, dude. Like, I think the Colts on this one, I think they can go ahead and beat the Saints. I hope they beat the Saints just so I can rub it into Mikey Menez's face when I see him here in studio on Monday. No me llores. I can't wait to play the grito that he hates so much.
He said, I just want to rub it in his face.
Yeah, man.
Falcons, Titans. We have a lot of Falcons fans who tune into the show a lot, all the time. What are we hearing about, man? Falcons, Titans.
Dude, I saw this one. I've been looking again at all the chatter going on by all these guys that are covering sports books and stuff like that, dude. And I gotta say, after looking at everything I've seen, I do like the Falcons over the Tennessee Titans.
I'm not even touching this game. This game could go either or, but if I had to, gun in my head, I'm taking the Falcons as well. I'm taking them. I would put money line though. I don't trust either of them.
Money line, bro.
I don't trust
money
either
line.
of them to cover +2.5.
No.
I think it's going to be very, very close. So I'm taking money line just to be safe. Cleveland, Seattle. Seattle is interesting to me only for this.
Oh,
dude.
this one breaks my heart, bro. This one makes it into my parlay.
Oh, you don't seem that confident in this one either.
Bro, this one I'm flip-flopping. I've been flip-flopping the whole show too, even before. I've been looking at all the stats and looking at everything that's going on. Man, I want to say, and everybody else is saying the same thing, Seahawks over the Browns. But I'm going to make a bold claim right here
Bold
I
claim
don't
here.
like that. I think the Browns beat the Seahawks.
Wow. Okay. I mean, the Browns are +4. You're taking the points or you're taking money line?
I'm going to take the money line. I
Oh,
think the Browns are
my
going to beat
God.
the Seahawks.
What are we doing here, Joe? God, you put the pressure on me, dude. You really did.
Dude, it was all the way up until right now. I'm like, man, I got to go with the heart is telling me, dude. And it's telling me the Browns are going to
The
win.
heart wants what the heart
The
wants.
heart wants it, dude. Yep.
Well, damn, Joe. You put me up on the spot right now. Puro Pinche Sports commented 27-26 Vikings because they're smart. We appreciate you for listening. Love that. But for this game, listen, I'm looking at my notes. In my notes from the start of the week, start of the season, right? I'm looking at my bets. And on my do not bet list, I have any Seahawk. That's on my do not bet list. Any Seahawk, including the team, because they let me down week 1 of our bets. The Seahawks are definitely in line to make it into my parlay. I'm taking the Seahawks. I am taking them money line -205. There's not a lot of juice, but it's because we can parlay that with a lot of different slips. So give me the Seahawks -205. I like that. I like the Seahawks. Chiefs, Broncos. Let's skip over this. This is stupid to even talk about. The Chiefs are going to dominate this game. -6.5. Interesting.
Broncos should just forfeit this one, dude.
-6.5 seems super low for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Why is that? What the hell am I missing?
I don't know, man. To me, that's just stupid, dude. It's
So
gonna
is
be more than
that is it an absolute take? Do you take the Chiefs -6.5?
No, dude. I think the Chiefs are gonna win by more than that.
That's what I'm saying. Do you take them to win by at least 6.5 points?
Oh, like by 6.5? Yeah, I think they're gonna win by at least 2 touchdowns. But 6.5, that's admirable.
Oh my God. Give me that 2 times on Sunday, baby. Give me the Chiefs for sure. So Chiefs -7 is what we like. -6.5, that's fine. Bengals 49ers.
Damn, that's another one.
That's
that
a
made
tough
it.
one, boy. Bengals +4. Why? Why are you doing this to us, Cincinnati?
All the chatter too, man, that I've seen doing my research this week.
Doing my research.
I've been doing
this week.
research, man. 'Cause
Ain't
I'm
no
tired
way my boy's researching.
I'm researching, man.
on the Bengals.
On the Bengals, bro. They had a bye week. I think Joey Burrow's calf is going to be a lot more improved. I like the Bengals over the 49ers. 49ers have kind of shit the bed over the last couple games, man. They haven't looked like the team that they looked like. They looked like world beaters against Dallas. Ever since then, not so much. So I like the Bengals over the 49ers.
Wow, man. Are you taking money line?
Money line, because I don't even know if Purdy's going to play.
Yeah, that's true too. That's true too.
You know, because he's in that concussion protocol. So I do like the Bengals over the 49ers.
Interesting. All right. I like the 49ers money line, but only because I just trust a lot more of their offensive weapons than I trust any of the Bengals weapons, unfortunately.
Oh, man, look at this. Puro Pinche Sports says Mahomes playing with the flu, and it's a snowstorm. Very interesting.
Shit. Okay, well, let me take that out of the parlay. Interesting. Mahomes playing with the flu. Could this be Mahomes' Jordan flu game right here? This is
Could be, bro.
against Denver.
In the snow,
In the
bro. In the snow.
My thing is, it's Denver still. Like, let's not get confused. It's still Denver. Nothing to get excited
Come
about.
on, man. You got Russell Wilson over there, bro. Come on.
Bro, you got Mr. Unlimited over there. That's what he calls himself. Valvoso.
Yep.
Anyways, continuing on. Baltimore, Arizona. Sorry. I like Baltimore in this game. There's not much juice on either side. Baltimore is -9 favorites. I think Arizona could cover that pretty easily. We've seen them compete. But I'm not touching this game at all. I don't even care to really talk about it.
Yeah.
Only because any games that include two 2 bird logos, I don't care about. That just doesn't make any sense to me. So Baltimore Ravens, Arizona Cardinals, the battle of the sky. Not interesting to me whatsoever. What do you think?
Nah, man, I'm not interested in this one.
Chicago and the Chargers. Is this the week that you take Chicago? Is this the week that Joe Garcia takes Chicago just to get a little wild?
No, hell no, man. I'm not going to pick Carolina Teague's team, bro. That's her team. And in fact, she was just telling me that she's going to be going to Chicago here before the end of the year to go see a game, go watch her Bears.
I'm going to Minnesota in about 2 weeks, and I am already expecting to be let down because they have not performed greatly.
Hey, man, if you wear the gear, maybe you get the team a win, bro.
I gotta go wearing like Spurs or something else that's not the gear just so they can win. That's
the Spurs Vikings themed inspired like concoction.
That's what I'm saying, dude. That's what I'm saying. So, last game we got is going to be the Raiders and the Lions. It's going to be tomorrow, Monday Night Football. Las Vegas is plus 7.5. Detroit with a massive, massive line in favor of them. What are your thoughts, sir?
On this one, man, you think the Lions should win this one? I'm going to go ahead and cover it by 7, dude. 7.5 is what they have it. I think they win by a touchdown. And Raiders, come on, man. It's the Raiders.
It's true. It is the Raiders. Nothing to be super excited about.
Not at all, dude.
Detroit has been dominant. I don't know that I tease this line down to -7. -7.5 is a lot of points. So I would go -7 strictly.
Touchdown.
Yeah. Exactly. So those are that. Let's give the sponsors one last shout out, and then we'll go into our can't miss parlays, our prop bets of the week, all of that stuff, DraftKings, everything that helps you win some money. So Mad Pecker Brewing Company is, of course, first up. Big shout out to Mad Pecker Brewing Company. We have nothing but love for all the incredible things that they allow us to do here on the Fantasy Gods. If you're looking for drinks, food, eats, the good vibes, they are all there at Mad Pecker Brewing Company. Go check them out. They have been incredible sponsors since day one of the Fantasy Gods. And of course, another day one, Mudslingers Drive-Thru Coffee Shop has been a day one supporter of the Fantasy Gods, and we could not be more grateful for the support. Give a big shout to Mudslingers Drive-Thru Coffee Shop, who is always happy to support the show, support you all, and support the mission that we are here to do with the Fantasy Gods, to bring you guys the best fantasy football and the best betting content possible. So a big shout out to them. Let's get into it though, Joe. It's time.
Hey man, look, we got some comments right here.
What do we got, sir?
Look at what Eason says. Just saw on NFL Network that Brock cleared protocol and is playing.
I'm gonna give you one shot. Do you want to change your answer?
No, sir, I do not. You know, if he cleared protocol, usually and he's right, it takes about a week, you know, and he's clearing protocol now. I just don't think he's going to be 100, dude. He's going to be probably playing out there, nursing a rowdy old headache, dude. When you get a concussion, you get a bad headache, dude, real bad. You're not going to be 100, so I don't think he's going to be at 100%. And if somebody goes and sacks the crap out of him, dude, that's going to take him out of the game. I think he's going to probably be about 70% out there today if he's going to be rolling out there.
Damn. Put just sports at 41-17 Lions. God
damn. That's a gambler right there.
That
man.
Boy said, let's just disrespect everything that they stand on. Shit. They have a family, bro. That's intense.
And look, he said protocol is normally supposed to have guys out for a week. Yeah, no doubt, dude.
No, yeah, that's true. That is true. And I do think that's a great callback to say, hey, this might be a little bit worse than maybe what we're thinking. Might be, or worse to the point of what you said, worth not looking at and maybe going the Bengals way, only because of that, because they have been going through this protocol, struggling to get through protocol clearly if they're just now announcing it. So
Debo's out of this game.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that also adds a little bit of an element to this. Interesting. Well, it could be time to look at elsewhere than for bets. If you're looking at that Bengals and 49ers thing, I just don't want to touch it. That seems like that's just...
I'm going to touch it, bro, because I'm a gambler, man. I'm telling you,
I'm going to touch it. All right, that's fine. I got you. I trust you. I like it. I do think there's opportunity for a win there, of course. But, man, there's a lot of moving parts in that game, it sounds like. So if you're looking to gamble, and you're looking to gamble very, very interestingly, have yourself a day with the Bengals and the 49ers. Let's talk a little bit about daily fantasy. DraftKings. Here's my lineup for DraftKings today. Kirk Cousins against the Green Bay Packers at 6,900. I got Travis Etienne, Isaiah Pacheco going against Denver. We just heard it is snowing possibly, whatever.
Yeah,
They're going to be running the ball. They're going to be getting Isaiah Pacheco involved. Joshua Downs. Nobody's talking about this kid. This kid's amazing over there in Indianapolis. Had 28 points last week, 13 and 15 the week before. Zay Flowers is in my lineup. Christian Kirk's in my lineup. No surprise. Darren Waller is in my tight end. Curtis Samuel, who I did say a little prayer for. Curtis Samuel is going to be in my flex position, and I have the Jets as my defense going against the 32nd ranked offense of the Giants. That's going to be my daily fantasy lineup there. Let's talk a little bit about our prop bets before we get into our can't miss parlays of the week. Our prop bets always are on Underdog and on Prize Picks. Go check them out. Here are the two that I'm rolling with. I love DK Metcalf, higher than 4 receptions. Alvin Kamara, higher than 52.5 rushing yards. Both of those, to me, stand out. Now, DK Metcalf will be a risk, if you will, only because the Browns do have a very good defense. I do think, though, this game gets close, and I do think at some point, possibly Seattle gets down, and they do need to start passing the ball. So I do think they will be passing to DK and Tyler Lockett. Both are in 2 separate parlays for me for prop bets because their total in catches and receptions are just so low. Alvin Kamara at 52.5 is a lock. It is ridiculous. 52.5 rushing yards against the Colts. I love it. Last week, he had 62 against Jacksonville, 68 against Houston, and 80 against New England. Give me Alvin Kamara for 52.5 rushing yards. And then the other one I like, and this one, I got to shout out to my boy Mark. Yesterday, I was watching the Rangers game. My boy Mark is a diehard Jets fan, Joe.
Oh, man.
And unfortunately. And then he told me, hey, dude, the bet that has been hitting for me for weeks, he's like, you got to mention on the show. So if this blows, it's all Mark's fault. He said, Zach Wilson rushing yards. And I was all, that's so specific. He was all, bro, go look at it. Go look at it. So the past 3 weeks, Zach Wilson has had 15 against Philadelphia, tough defense, 26 against Denver, 14 against Kansas City. This week against the Giants, we just talked about the Jets don't have a great offensive line. This week against the Giants, his line is at 11.5 rushing yards. So we added that prop. I took Tyler Lockett. You know Tyler Lockett's a great wide receiver. Joe, if you had to assume, what do you think is his line just for receptions, just to get catches? How many receptions do you think he'd have?
For what? For this game?
For this game against the Cleveland Browns. Seattle and Cleveland. Tyler Lockett, just how many receptions?
I'd probably say like 3, 4.
Okay, so they are in agreement with you. His line, 3.5. Right in the middle.
Wow.
So I took the over only because close to the line of scrimmage. If Cleveland gets up, if it is a closer game, Tyler Lockett can make some plays. 3.5 receptions. That's parlayed with Zach Wilson's rushing yards. And my final play, this needs to be a lock. If I had to pick the perfect parlay for you all, it would be Alvin Kamara, Zach Wilson, and Jahmyr Gibbs, 63.5 rushing yards. That is a picture perfect, beautiful parlay right there. I like that one. That to me seems like a lock. I do love all of those. My favorite one of the day, though, will be Alvin Kamara at his rushing yards. I do think that absolutely should be higher. And Jahmyr Gibbs, if you're nervous about it or you're worried about it, this offense of the Vegas Raiders has allowed so many rushing yards. I'm not even worried about what could happen, what might happen. I do think this hits, no doubt. So check that out. Go check out everything on Prize Picks, Underdog, Fantasy, all that and more. Go support those incredible platforms that help us be the degenerates that we are today. So that's what we have lined up for our picks. Now, Joe, let's get into the can't miss, locked in parlay of the week. Joe Garcia, be my guest, sir. Start us off.
You gonna pass the collection plate?
I'm ready. Here we go.
Pass the collection plate.
All right, man.
Money time,
There we
baby.
go. Big money, man. Big
Money time.
This one, I had, you have the Browns and the Seahawks, bro. I'm telling you, man, that was flip-flopping, going back and forth. Everybody picking the Seahawks to beat the Browns. I got the Browns upsetting the Seahawks. I got the Browns beating them, and I'm going to go with 3. I'm going to go ahead and cover it by 3.
Okay.
All right. Now, the second one, man, this is another one.
So you got the Browns beating them by 3.
Beating the Seahawks by 3. Bengals over
Jesus.
49ers, man.
I gotta find this bet real quick because they're at +4. I have to completely change that now for you. Let me see this.
Yeah.
Wow, you are crazy.
So I got the Bengals and the 49ers, man. And everything that we just heard with Purdy, he's clearing, concussion protocol, coming in early. Usually it takes a week. He's not going to be at 100%. Debo's not playing. Everything right here is setting the Bengals up to go ahead and beat the 49ers. I got the Bengals over the 49ers by a touchdown.
Bengals over 49ers by a touchdown. Jeez, bro, you are on a different level right now.
Cowboys and the Rams. They're kind of similar, man. This is the thing. This is a scary one to touch. I'm not gonna lie.
I can't even find Bengals by a touchdown. They have them at -3.5.
I got them by a touchdown, bro.
The highest I can go is -3.5, so I'll skew the numbers a little bit. But go ahead.
Cowboys and Rams, dude.
You're nuts right now,
This
bro.
one's scary, dude. This one's scary to me.
You got 2 underdogs so far, both winning by way too many points.
The Browns beating the Seahawks by 3, by at least a field goal. I got that, dude.
Okay.
Bengals over 49ers by a touchdown. I like that one. I like that one.
That's crazy.
I like
bro.
that one. Cowboys over the Rams. I got the Cowboys beating the Rams by 3.
By 3. Okay, that one. Let me go find. So, man, dude, this is gonna be a high volume bet right here. Oh my God, dude. You're nuts.
I am nuts today, dude. But I'm just saying, man. I've done my research on this.
Oh
I've done my
God.
research on this all week, dude. I've been looking. I've been seeing the chatter, bro. I'm just saying.
Oh
This
my
is what
God.
I came up
There's
with.
no fucking shot that this hits. Dude, if this hits, you are making so much money, bro. So here we go. Cowboys -3. Okay.
Okay.
Cowboys -3. Cleveland, you had, what was it? -3, right?
Cleveland, the Browns beating the Seahawks by 3. Yeah.
By 3. So right now they're +4. So I have to change it to -3. I can't even go to -7 for the Bengals. The highest I can go is -3.5. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's just take what that looks like, and then we can add, I'm sure, what it probably would be. Okay. So this is crazy. Just that, without even taking the Bengals to win by 7, just the Bengals to win by 4 or more.
Yeah.
Okay. And then everything else you said. $100 would win you $1,700 and $1,785. $1,785. So you almost win $1,800 off of $100. Joe is the king of adding in the most underdogs of all underdogs. And sometimes they hit, rarely do they, because they're all underdogs.
Underdogs, bro.
But when they do, I'm telling you now, big money for Joe Garcia.
Yeah, that could
Wow.
that could possibly pay for Christmas
Dude,
presents, bro.
that's the mortgage. That's your bill. There's bills to be paid, baby.
Hey, man, that's Thanksgiving dinner right there.
Holy
Plus more.
hell! All righty, here we go. You ready for mine, sir?
Yeah, man.
Here we go. Give me the Saints money line against the Colts. Saints money line. Okay, I like that. Saints money line. The other one that I like. I want to do it. And I don't know if I can.
Don't touch that Jets one, bro. That's just
don't know.
no. That's Basura.
I know.
They're
That's
gonna
what I'm
break your
looking
heart.
at.
They're
That's
gonna
what I'm
break your
looking at.
heart, bro.
All right, here we go. I'm
I know
gonna
you're
change
gonna
it.
put him in there, bro.
I'm not.
I know.
I can't do it. Saints money line -135. The Rams +7
Ah,
against the Cowboys. Just to fucking put it to you, Cowboys. I do think this bet might not hit because I'm too excited. But I'm saying
I know you're excited.
the Rams +7 against the Cowboys. And then here's the big one. Here's the big one here. Lock it in. You ready, Joe?
I'm ready.
The can't miss parlay of the week for Brandon Medina. The Saints money line. Rams +7 against the Cowboys.
No.
And the Vikings -1 against the Green Bay Packers, baby. We are locking it in. $100 wins you $635. It is beautiful odds. Go look at that. Vikings -1. The Los Angeles Rams +7 against the Cowboys. And the Saints -135 money line against the Indianapolis Colts gives you +535 odds. $100 wins you $635. $25 will win you $158. So very nice on Joe's $25 still going to bring you like $500. Joe's ridiculous.
Hey man, either we eating lobster and steak, or we going back to top ramen, bro.
That's what I'm talking about. Well, we want to thank all of you for tuning in, all of our sponsors, all the Cowboys fans jumping in, all of our questions that came in. Thank you for tuning in and making the Fantasy Gods one of your number one stop shops for all things fantasy football and sports gambling every Sunday. We'll see you on Thursday when we bring back the extra point for the Fantasy Gods. Don't forget to tune in Monday through, Monday, Wednesday, Friday?
Monday, Wednesday, Friday
for the Alamo City Sportscast with our boy Joe Garcia. He's going to be bringing on some incredible stuff, incredible guests, incredible stories, sports and pop culture. It's beautiful. We will be bringing on more shows in the future, but until then, thank you. Great show. Good luck on your fantasy football week. Go win some money. Send us your tickets of the bets you took when they do hit. We appreciate you tuning in. Follow Joe at 2 Shots Podcast on Twitter. Follow me at Big Poppy, Brandon M on Twitter. And as always, may the fantasy gods be with you.
Peace.